Hey guys, no game in this particular video. I want to go over something different that I've just been chewing over. I didn't actually make a video yesterday. I did play a bunch of games, loads and loads of games. I had to listen to some boring kind of meeting recordings and played a lot of chess at the same time. And I actually hit my rapid peak yesterday at 1555 and then slid right down to just under 1500 during the day. And the reason why I did that is kind of in this video. But what I wanted to share with you and just to discuss quickly is that I've been thinking through what makes the difference between a stronger and a weaker player. Or more specifically, what makes the difference between you at your strongest and you at your weakest. And how can you play at your strongest more of the time, and how can you improve what your strongest is? And it seems to me that there are 4 factors that affect your performance at chess. Right? Now, obviously, there's lots and lots of subtleties, but here are the 4. Right? Number 1, mental capacity. We've got chess knowledge, we've got focus, and we've got effort. So let's just talk through those pretty quickly. Mental capacity is the one that you have relatively little control over. It's mainly genetic, right? If you have to have the ability to process a lot of information, and in order to, well, look, put it this way: the more brain power you have, the more information that you can process. Literally, the more you can think in a fixed period of time. And this applies whether you're playing 1-minute bullet or classical chess over the board in a tournament, right? The World Championship. It's the same thing. There is always a time limit, or you may be playing like daily games online. So the question is, how much thinking can you do within the period of time that you have? Right? If it's 5 seconds per move, then you need to think pretty fast. Computers obviously can calculate an awful lot of stuff a lot quicker than humans. So mental capacity you don't have a lot of control over. It's an accident of birth, it's genetic. You do have some influence over it. For example, the thing is, there are things that if you're tired, for example, then your mental capacity is actually diminished. So it's more a case of, are you operating at your fullest, right? If you're drunk or stoned, you don't want to be playing chess. Absolutely. Although some people might find that one drink actually makes them a bit better at attacking, for example. If you're overtired, if you're under the influence of anything, you don't want to be playing. Your mental capacity is going to be diminished, right? And I don't know if there are any kind of performance enhancing things that you can do. I mean, a lot of people like coffee or tea or whatever. Caffeine maybe can help. If you're a smoker, you might find that if you've not had a cigarette for a couple of hours, you might kind of be edgy or something like that. There might be other things, like some people take niacin, vitamin B3, or ginkgo biloba. There are things that can kind of help your stimulation. There's also a craze in the IT world of microdosing LSD as well. But I can't comment on whether that's what that's like and whether that can actually affect your mental capacity. But it's more probably an issue of focus. Okay, so let's move on to number 2, chess knowledge. What do we mean by this? Well, for humans, chess is it's about pattern recognition. Okay, so there's an awful lot that you can learn about chess. A computer, you could program in the rules of the game, and the rules of the game are actually part of chess knowledge. If you don't understand the rules, then you're not going to do very well. So that's the starting point. But then from there, a computer actually has the ability just to calculate. I'm just going to say, okay, if I do this, massive trees of permutations, and figures out the best one, right? We cannot do that. So what we need heuristics, which are like rules of thumb, to say, well, I know that this is generally a good thing. For example, I know that controlling the centre is generally a good thing. I know that having my pieces developed is generally a good thing. I know that losing material is generally not a good thing. Yeah, very, very simple things. I know that a knight is more effective in the middle of the board than it is in a corner. Right? I know these things. That doesn't mean that I won't sometimes put my knight in a corner. And then from there, you can build up like lots of kind of positional ideas. You know, so I know that if my opponent is going to castle on one side of the board, then my bishops should probably be on the other side of the board. I like the idea of lining up a bishop or a queen or a rook on a line where it's pointing to my opponent's king, because that may create the opportunity for attacks, discoveries, pins, that kind of stuff later on. It's all just layer upon layer upon layer of chess knowledge. So how can you improve your chess knowledge? Well, you can watch a bunch of videos, you can read books, you can do lessons, and you can do tactical puzzles. Right? It's all good. You can learn, for example, checkmate patterns. So, you know, pretty much everyone who's watching this video will know what a ladder mate is. And at some point, you might have had to work it out for yourself. Okay, but once you've worked it out, it's like, yeah, now I can do that, and then I can blitz it out later on. Okay. But you may not know what Legal's mate is. You may not know what a hook mate or an Arabian or Anastasia's mate look like, or a dovetail or epaulette or whatever. These are all patterns that you can learn, and then later on you recognise them a lot quicker and without having to calculate. So the chess knowledge stuff gives you shortcuts to, which mean that you require less thinking. Okay, because we are constrained. How much can you think in a particular span of time? Okay, so focus and effort. These two, the chess knowledge, hopefully you will build over time. Right. So, for example, I could play a grandmaster who could be blind drunk, and they'll still beat me because they just know the patterns. They'll go, oh well. And I know that 3 moves and it's mate. Whereas I might not know that, okay? Anyway, so back to focus. Focus and effort are the two that apply in real time, okay? Number one, focus. Are you bloody paying attention to the game, right? If you are playing chess on your phone while you're also trying to do something else and someone else is talking to you, you're not going to have much focus. So your thought processes are going to be interrupted. And what was I talking about? You know? And you won't be able to string together, you won't be able to build, you won't be able to think as deeply into a position as if you were concentrating 100%. And then that ties in very much to effort. Literally, I think that one of the biggest reasons why many of us underperform is laziness. It's simple, basic laziness. It's like you get a position and you go, well, that looks like a move, right? We talked about this before. That looks like a move, and then your opponent does something and you go, oh, I didn't know he was going to do that. Didn't know he could do that. But yeah, that's only laziness. Because yes, your opponent there's a bunch of different moves that your opponent can make, right? But when you're considering a candidate move in a game, right, you go, if I do this, what's my opponent most likely to do? And he might do a dumbass move, and that's absolutely fine, right? But you need to consider the likely outcome of your move. And if it means that you get your king and your queen fought, then it's your own stupid fault, because it's there. It is there on the board. And unless your mental capacity is very, very low, right, it's laziness. You can figure that out. Or you're not focused, you're not paying attention, right? Focus and effort very much go hand in hand. So if there is a secret weapon to chess, aside from education and improving your chess knowledge, it's put in the effort, right? Give yourself the permission to focus 100% on a game, right? And if you are playing games half-heartedly, stop that shit, because that's not going to help your chess, okay? When you play, say, I'm going to sit down, life or death, this is a must-win, do-or-die situation, and I am going to give it 100% focus. Then, and not even when it's your move, but when it's their move as well, on their time, put in the effort, okay? Put in the effort. So you may have, say, 2 minutes between every move on average, right? You need to use those 2 minutes, make the maximum returns, get the maximum returns from those 2 minutes. So what are you thinking about? You're thinking about, let's say you've just made a move, and it's your opponent's time. You're thinking, okay, what are the most likely moves that they're about to make? If he makes move A, what does that mean? Right? Talk to yourself. Tell yourself the story of the board. Read the damn board. Okay. If he makes that move, what does that mean? And then what might my options be? What if he makes that move? Right? And use the time. Put in the effort. This is literally down to how many brain cycles can you get into your 2 minutes, right? And then your opponent makes a move and you go, aha, I'm ready for that now. And you've got a head start on your bit of time, right? Biggest thing that you can do in chess, I believe, okay? Yes, you should improve your chess knowledge, educate yourself if you want to get better. Yes, you should absolutely be focused, but put in the damn effort, guys. There you go. So that's all I wanted to share with you today. These 4 factors that can limit or not limit or even expand your chess success and improve on your chess success. So take this into any play that you do today, over the next week, moving forward, but particularly focus on, chess knowledge is something you can work on every day and should improve over time. Mental capacity you haven't got much control over, but focus and particularly effort. Just put in the work, do the work, right? Don't be lazy. Use your time. Get as much thinking done as you can in whatever time frame you have, okay? And that's how you'll improve, and so on. Okay, that's it then. Thanks for watching. See you soon.